I am the oracle of Howl. Come share your light with me. These messages I follow, restoring balance unto thee. Do not be afraid, you're part of saving grace. Do not hesitate, let's reignite your faith. Divine encounters are alive. Divine encounters, our lives designed. I am the oracle of Apollo.
Thank you for joining me, your Aquarius water-bearing hostess, Dominique Rivera. I am the Oracle of Apollo, and you are watching Divine Encounters. Make sure you have your high-quality H2O, because this is not a passive viewing experience, but one where you are going to be shifting your energy throughout this feed. So to your health, wealth, and prosperity. Today is Wednesday, supernatural story time. Hello, Miss Uriel. Thank you for being here. And every Wednesday night, I bring you guys a different perspective with a different guest, and they share their supernatural experiences with us today. And before we get started with our supernatural story time, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing, turning the bell on. This way you can get notified when I am live streaming, and as I live stream Sunday and Wednesday nights. So make sure that you guys turn that on. Also, I have this free group anyone can join if you would like to have a monthly meetup with me for healing or for a meditation, group meditation. It is meetup.com/awaken Philadelphia. Make sure you guys are sharing this feed with your friends or tagging a friend in the comment section below, because if you do tag a friend in the comment section below, you automatically come into the drawing to win a personal message from me to you, and I will bring you on here digitally next week for whoever's chosen by Spirit, and give you and deliver a message for you. And you can come on and also play with us here, have a divine experience with us, and it will be a lot of fun. So I would love for you guys to experience that. So make sure that you are sharing this feed. And hello, Lori. Lori is in the house. Yes. All right. So typically at this point of the day, I introduce you to your guests. So let's see who that is. Surprise! It's me! Today's supernatural story time is coming from me. I have a lot of supernatural stories that I don't get to tell you guys about. So I don't know. This is where we're at today. And if this goes well and you guys want to hear more of my supernatural stories, maybe I'll chime in like once every 3 months or something and share a story with you guys. And so, but before we get started with me sharing my story, I like to check out what the good news is. And this is a awareness message for the collective. So to that, I say, what's good? And just so you guys know, my winner is here today. So she will be chiming in with the good news and all of the other little things that we have throughout the segment. So here we go. The good news card says, we are Hathors. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you are a child of the cosmic mother and you are being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card to remind you to receive deep, deep love of mother's embrace. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms. This is a card of extreme potency, of femininity, of creation, and of birth. You are being called to mother yourself and others too. To create and surrender your own creations, to hold and to be held. You're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the cosmic mother is watching you every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one place or way of being into another. And if so, you're being reminded that you're cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you can possibly imagine, and you have access to more love than your heart can bear. If you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receiving the overflowing love of the cosmic mother flooding towards you from every direction and let it stretch into your heart. Wow, what a beautiful message today. And I feel like it's definitely in alignment with what I'm going to be talking about. And Uriel says, that's what I got from my weekly reading that I posted in my group also. So this is the collective energy of mothering ourselves. So let's bring Diana up. Hey, how are you, my heart?
Hi, good.
Thank you for being here. And you're today's winner, obviously.
Thank you.
So I'm happy to have you. What do
Happy
you
to
feel
be
about
here.
this message today? We are the Hathors.
So today is my 4-year-old daughter's birthday. And so the birth and just remembering to be the best mother that I can, it kind of, that's where it resonated for me. Also, I've been having issues with accepting love, and I am at a crossroads of something having to do with that. So I'm hoping the angel message will help me. That's directed towards me today.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. So I'm going to invite you, Diana, to do this this activation with me and everybody at home. We're going to do this activation together today for this card. So go ahead and place your hand on your hearts, and here's the activation message. And just repeat this. I allow the deep love of Cosmic Mother to wash over me. I am loved. I am held. And just take a breath and close your eyes and just notice how that feels in your body. Being told this message, being given the gift of this awareness today. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the here and now. And let me know in the comment section below how you're feeling about this and what you felt. How about for you, Diana? What rings true inside of you as you tap into this message and this energy of activation?
Well, immediately you feel the calmness. I've been frazzled all morning. I've been busy all morning. I rushed over here. I had like 5 minutes to spare to get online. So it's an immediate calm. I definitely feel, hopefully I exude that now.
You do. You do exude it now. So thank you so much. And for me, this feels like I just felt like, see, you are loved. You are held. We're here. And so everything's going to be okay. And that's the way I feel it. So thank you for that, ma'am. And we're going to bring you back very soon for actually, yeah. What do you guys at home think? And we'll get into a divine experience and then we'll send Diana back into the weight room, into the green room. Hi, Uriel and Lori say hello to each other. That's so cute. You guys are building community right here and right now. So let's jump into the divine experience where we raise your energy field and then we'll get into my story. So right now, everybody from 1 to 10, where are you at energetically? 1 being this is the lowest vibration. 10, this is the most highest vibration. 1, I'm not feeling so not good at all. And 10, this is the best I can feel. Put that in the comment section below now. And for myself, Diana, I feel like I'm at an 8.5 today in this moment right now. How about you?
I'm at a 6.
You're at a 6. Okay, so we have room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mr. Jasper. Fantastic. I love that. Okay, Jasper, you're here right on time because we're about to get into a divine experience. Going to call in the team. Let's get rid of this third camera. Let's call in the team. All you guys at home and Diana have to do is just set an intention, place your hands, palms face up on your laps, and prepare to receive. And Mr. Jasper says he's at a 5, and Uriel says she's at a 4 because she's hungry. Okay. Angels, guys, said to masters, let's begin. 1 minute on the clock right now. Take a breath in. Let it go. And I just want you to just empty yourself. Completely empty yourself of characteristics, your name, your identity, what you do for work. And just allow this mothering energy from whichever place it comes to enter into your field and allow it to saturate you, to comfort you, to nurture you, to support you. And as you're breathing that in, know for certain that you have Mother Cosmos all around you, revitalizing you, uplifting you, and listening to your prayers while she cradles you within her arms. And just breathe that safety, that love, that knowing in. And exhaling what no longer serves you. Old expectations, paradigms. Bring that left and right palm to touch in front of your heart space. And namaste. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and your toes and come back into this present now moment. And put in the comment section below where you are at now after this shift. I am super buzzed and my eyes do not want to open, but I'm like at a good 9.6 now. And I just feel myself rising. I feel a heat cascading into me and an expansion, like a pressure pushing outward and coming out of me. And I feel really blissed out right now. I'm not gonna lie, super blissed out. How about you, Diana?
I feel like an 8. My heart finally stopped racing. So definite calm, where I need to be. Just this should be the norm for me.
I agree with that. We should be at least 8 or 9 every day, right? Mm-hmm. And we have Jasper. He went from a 5 to an 8. You just flew. You and Diana both just flew all the way up. And then Uriel, she went from a 4 to a 6. Feel I was wrapped in a super comfy warm blanket by Mago. Who's Mago? Mago. I'm going to assume this is a deity. So thank you all for that. Diana, we're going to pop you in the background until the Apollo Games later, and then we'll bring you back in for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, ladies and gents. So we're going to go ahead. I feel so awkward being the only person here. So I'm going to tell you guys a supernatural story today. And I was thinking about what story I wanted to tell you. And I looked through some of my YouTube videos because if you look at my playlist, I have one called My Supernatural Life. And that's my stories. And then I was like, maybe I should pull something out of the journal. And I didn't want to tell you guys a story that you hear me say on other people's shows. I want to tell you guys something, maybe something you didn't know about me. So I want to share with you guys how I first learned angels were real and how it was discovered by my mom, how that led into my mom also discovering that angels were real. So, Mago is the name of a Korean Earth mother. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you for sharing that. So, about 8 years ago, I was super disabled, and it was kind of like a light switch just went off in my world where all of a sudden I was able bodied. I was in the military for about a decade, able bodied. And then suddenly it was like something happened in my central nervous system that just miscommunicated all of the receptors, and I could no longer care for myself. And my partner, Doug, my life partner, he was the one that would help me brush my hair, get me make sure I was in a bath, that I had food, and I was basically on care for all of my basic needs. And in this process, I was gifted a book, and it's called The Idiot's Guide to Connecting with Your Angels. And I'm like, I don't even believe in angels at this time in my life. I thought they were kind of like something that people would just say to make you feel better, like just empty platitudes and just no real substance. And as I started reading this book, at the time I was going through what I thought was something that was needing medical attention because I didn't know what I was going through. One evening, as I was bedridden for several weeks, I had a green orb that came to me after I gave the universe some kind of prayer or petition because I didn't even know who or what I was asking or if there was anything out there that was listening to me to begin with. And I asked that either A, I receive all of the pain of my family and that I could carry the burden. And in hindsight, that was probably something that most of us would be willing to do for our family, but it was also something unnecessary now in my now perspective, looking back at it. And then I said, or please give me a way for me to heal, and then I will teach everybody how to do the same. And suddenly, with consequently from that prayer, it felt like almost instantly, but I'm not sure exactly how much time had passed. It could have been a day or 2 days. And suddenly one day I was just laying in the bed and this green floating orb was there. And it kind of looked like this lava lamp shape of green lava, like the ones you get from the store. And I'm just staring at it. And I could stare at it directly. And I'm like, what is that? So I tell my mom and I'm like, man, there's this green orb of green energy. And I have no freaking clue what this is. And then as I was reading that book, I started to realize there was a chapter in the book that started talking about angel colors. And one of them stated that the green angel color was Raphael, and that angels did not always present themselves to humans in human form, that they would present themselves in a manner that brought the least amount of fear to the people. And in this particular case, it was that green free floating orb. And I took this as truth because I didn't know what else to make of it. I was asking other people about it. No one knew what I was talking about. I shared with my mom, I'm like, man, I see this green floating orb. And she was like, oh no, maybe you have brain cancer. So I ended up going to the doctors and getting everything checked. And I was fine and everything was normal. But there was still so many questions that I had. And as I was reading this book, it was saying, well, you can ask the angels for symbols. And I was like, I can ask? And I thought how ridiculous that notion was, me being the analytical person that I am, because I didn't believe in them. So I put it to the test and I started asking for things. I would start with something like, angels, if this is really angels giving me this information and I'm not losing my mind or I'm not, have some kind of rare condition that's going to kill me, I would like a white feather. And I thought, no, not a white feather, too simple. So I complicated it, right? Because us humans, we don't want to believe anything when it's simplified. We want the most complicated thing because that's just how we roll. And I asked for a white feather with brown spots and gray stripes. All right. listen to that again, a white feather with brown spots and gray stripes. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be getting this feather. So I learned that you can't give it a timeline. So I kind of just left it open-ended, but very shortly, maybe the next day, I went for this walk in the woods. And as I was thinking about my feather again, not asking for it, but thinking about it, the freaking feather was on the floor. And I looked down and I was like, there's no way that's going to be exactly what I look. So I took the few next steps and I picked it up, and it was the white feather with the brown splotches and gray stripes. And I was just amazed by this. So to me, that was like the first confirmation of, wait a minute, maybe this is coincidence. Maybe let's go with that. That makes me more comfortable in my little human brain. This is coincidence. These are not angels. So I kind of just left it at that. And I started to tell other people about these feathers. And so I started to challenge it even further. And as I challenged it, I was walking down the street in Center City, and I was thinking about these angel feather things again. And as I was crossing the street, I saw from the sky a feather floating down. And it was across the street, and I laughed, and I was like, oh, see, that's not for me. That's just a coincidence because that's across the street, right? If it was for me, if it was my humanness, if that feather was for me, it would have been right here in front of me. And as I was saying that, I might as well just smack my own face at this point, because as I was saying that, a gust of wind came. A gust of wind came and blew the freaking feather across the street and onto the windshield of a car. I hadn't walked by it yet. Onto the windshield of the car that was the next car I was about to walk by. And I said, wow, there's something to this. But in that respect of the angel messages, I started to figure out, would have went in your hair behind your right ear, make it happen. I know, right? It needs to land right here. But what wound up coming from that was, all right, there's something to this. Okay. So I went back to the book, and I remember it started to say something about Reiki, and I couldn't even pronounce it because I was like, what is Raikai? No pronunciation in this book. And it was probably like 4 sentences about Reiki. And I was like, wow, that looks really interesting, whatever this healing is. So as angels would have it, I'm 2 blocks away from a church, okay? And as I'm driving, I'm not driving, Doug's driving, but as we're driving past 7-Eleven towards the church, passing the church, I've been living here already near that church like 7 years. There's a huge sign outside on a marquee, and this is maybe like 1 or 2 days later, and it says Reiki tonight. And I'm looking at this marquee that says Reiki tonight, and I'm like, there is no freaking way that I have been living here this long and that sign is a permanent sign. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check this out. What do I have to lose? But what freaked me out, honestly, was the fact that it was in a church, okay? Because a lot of you, similar to me, were kind of like ex-religion and kind of like, okay, no, I don't want to go into that sector and that whole thing. So I was a little bit intimidated, but I pushed through that. And I said to myself, all right, well, if someone's going to come at me and preach at me, I'm just going to walk out because I have, choice. There's always choice. We think that because we're in an environment that we have to stay there. No, the moment you want to dip out, you can just go. So I go in there, and it's in the attic, thank goodness. And in the attic, which is huge, there's all these tables set up, and it's super quiet. And all of a sudden, like, it's my turn to go onto this table. So I get on the table, and this guy named Ron, he doesn't even talk to me. He doesn't explain anything to me. No one's even talking. So I'm not sure what to expect. I lay on the table, and he kind of just hovers his hands over my body, over my shoulder, actually. And my shoulder at the time, I had just gotten a rotary cuff surgery because I pretty much destroyed the shoulder from when I was in the military. And this pain, overwhelming amount of pain. I'm telling you, this pain that came into me I was going to full-blown scream out loud in the middle of this silent room. And terror didn't happen, but questions arose. Like, what is this? Why is this happening? Why does this hurt so badly? And hi, Sherry McQueen. And what wound up coming into that moment was, be still. You're healing. And when I kind of just took a breath in, even though I'm telling you, I have a high pain threshold, and this was an amazing amount of pain. All of a sudden, the roof of the church opened, and there was no roof, and it was nighttime, and I could see the stars and like Christmas lights. All of a sudden, these beacons of light started emanating from within my chakras, and red, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, and gold just shot out of me. And not only did it shot out of me, but as it shot out, it was like laser beams. And at the very top of these colored laser beams were these crystalline lotuses that were spinning in place. And I was just absolutely amazed. And so I kind of just went home after that. My mind was kind of like mush. Like, what just happened there? Did I hallucinate that? Did I imagine that? There's no way. And I remember laying in bed and just being in that pain, because that pain kind of seared through me for a couple days after that as I was healing. And I remember sitting and I could hear like a high pitched sound coming in. And I opened my eyes and it was dark in my room. But when I opened my eyes, the darkness disappeared. And it was like a pink light was superimposed into my space. So I couldn't see anymore where I was actually at. And what I saw was a figure, a humanoid figure in front of me, enveloped by this pink, soft energy. And telepathically, so within my own inner mind, I saw and heard Chamuel. And I was like, Chamuel, what is that? And it got closer and closer and closer. And the most beautiful face I ever saw came so close to me. It was perfect. There was like no pores. It was like the most poreless face ever. And it was all pink, like pink clouds around. And this energy, like a pressure coming out of this being, was pressing into me. And it was pure, unconditional love. And it was just telling me that I was so very loved, something that I needed to know so deeply. Because at the time, I felt so broken, so useless. When you have a chronic condition, it can make you feel like you're burdened to everybody around you. And it makes it very difficult to be appreciative of the blessings that are in your life. And so I felt empty at that time. I felt like, wow, I'm just gonna, this person that I love is gonna just be stuck with taking care of somebody like me. And that was really hard for me to accept, And so when this angel came to me and I felt all this love, it was like, wow, there is more. There is more than just this moment. There's so much love that is coming from the universe, something that I could have never even fathomed, and that it's for me because I have value, I have purpose, I have worth. And sometimes when you go for an extended period of time of not feeling that, you don't think it's possible for you to have that because it feels like it's been extinguished inside of you. And so when I learned about this, the angels started to come even more. And Angel Raphael presented himself to me several days later. And he presented himself to me in that beautiful green energy. And he pressed into my inner knowing without words, without sound, without frequency. He said to me that I was meant to be a healer, and I was being called. And I said, who, me? Not me. I'm nobody. You're asking the wrong person. I can't even brush my own hair. You have to get someone else. And he asked me to meet people at the park. I couldn't even walk to the park. It was 2 blocks away. I was disabled, so I couldn't even get from my front door to the car. And so I was like, I can't do this. But then something inside of me said that you can. And so I invited people into the park near my house. And I said, if nobody comes, then, no harm. But I didn't think anyone was going to come because who am I? I'm nobody. And so there was a pleasant surprise that was going to be revealed to me upon taking this first action through the fear, through my limited beliefs. There was something beautiful on the horizon, but I could have never fathomed what that would be. And so with that being said, we're going to go into commercial break and we'll be right back.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, I'm losing every battle.
And we're back. You're watching Divine Encounters. I'm your hostess, the Oracle of Apollo. And shout out to our sponsor, Intention Pen. Use the promo code Oracle7 for your Intention Pen. Is the most powerful tool when you're writing out your words and your manifestations. So I'm telling you guys a story about how I discovered the angels, as well as how they have influenced my life. So at this time, when I was feeling at a place, at a crossroads, you could say, thank you for checking in. At a crossroads, you could say, I'm sitting here and now I'm being forced to get through my own BS, all right? My own programming, all right? So I'm sitting here at the park, and the first time I go to the meeting at the park, 7 people come. So I continue to listen to this voice, these angels that are guiding me. And by the time the end of the summer came, I started hosting people in my house at the end of the summer. And then spirit came back, angels came back, and it said, you need to open a center. And I'm like, angels, I have no way. I have never owned a business before. I don't know how to run a business. I don't have the skills for this. And it happened to be, excuse me, that my boyfriend's mom's boyfriend's best friend had this building, and part of the building had been closed down for 10 years. He offered to let me borrow this space. And as I did, and we agreed to it, I actually opened my doors to my center with $3. And then after that, because I was still so very sick, I didn't have money for advertisements or marketing. So I would just sit in my store with no one even knowing I existed, didn't even have a sign outside, and just allowed myself to be present and hold space within myself. But I was so chronically sick that I couldn't even stand for more than a few minutes at a time. And it was in that time, in those in between moments, while I was waiting, that I was praying, I was energizing myself, I was giving myself Reiki. And through this, I learned something called energetic advertising. Through that energetic advertising, people started to come and the center started to flourish 138% a year. And I kept the center running for 5 years, because on the 5th year, spirit angels came back to me and said, you're going to give back gracefully what has been given to you in a year from now. Fast forward 1 year and COVID hit. And it was literally on the same month that my lease was up. And before COVID was announced, it was only a few days. Spirit and the angels are like, you are going to close down. And I already knew it. I was told for a whole year I had to close because there was bigger projects in the working. And so we did, and I trusted that. And this show is the result of closing the center down and trusting that higher authority that has always guided me. But how did I ask my mom to receive those same blessings? Because she also didn't believe in angels. And so nobody around me was believing anything I was saying. And that doesn't matter. And I need you guys to know that it never mattered. However, in the beginning, when you're trying to find some kind of roots to put into the ground, it's very difficult to accept what's happening when no one else has had that experience besides you. So it could feel like you're up in the air and you're all alone. And I was at my mom's house. She said, let's clean the house. So I helped her energetically clean the house. And I remember praying with my mightiest might. I didn't even have real prayers. I just kind of just like held my belief inside myself. And I said, Angel Michael, please show my mom that the angels are real. I know you're real. Just please show her. Okay, so we're cleaning the house, and now I'm sitting with my back against her front door, and she has one of those doors where it's the front door and then 2 side panels of glass. And so we're talking about the angels, and I remember hearing a gust of wind fling the door open. Now the door's behind me, so I can't see it, but the door flings open, and I'm looking at my mom who's in front of me, and her eyes open so big, and her breath stops. And I said, and I could feel an immense energy behind me pressing upon me. And I smiled and I said, what's happening? And she says, don't move. There's someone at the door. And I said, what is it? And she says, it's fireworks. It's fireworks. Their head is enveloped in fireworks. And then her eyes are still bulging. And then another breath in, and she says, oh, I see wings. So through the side glass of the door, because the door's solid, but the sides of the panels of the door, the windows, she could see the extension of wings. And above the door was a little bit of glass, like the beveled glass at the top. And she could see what she was calling fireworks. In this moment, all I could see, and I didn't turn because it wasn't for me, okay? It was hers. But through the windows, I could see an immense light coming into the living room, and a assuredness, a calmness, an inner knowing that I didn't have to turn around to see it because I already knew in my heart what was happening, and it was there. And I was just thanking universe that now I didn't have to be alone, that someone else could experience this. And out of all people, it was my mom, because I wanted her to feel the same thing I was feeling, which was that unconditional, unwavering love of support of the divine. And then the door slams, boom. And she sits down and she's like, what just happened? She opened the door right away to look outside to see if there was any cars that maybe was coming. And there wasn't. And she was trying to break down why there was so much light in the house, but there wasn't, because we're a quarter away from the end of the block, and any car light could not have made its way into the house, as it never has. And so we sat down, and perplexed, I just told her very calmly, you see, I told you they were real. And from then on, I stopped caring what other people believed, because I knew, there's more love flowing in. Because I knew in that moment that this was such a special gift, and that not only was it a gift for me, but it was a gift that I could keep regifting. I could keep regifting and that I could bring other people to experience. And I'm not crying because I'm sad. It's just because there's so much love in my heart that is for everyone. And that you go through a time where you're so alone to being so loved. And I just wanted to give that to everyone. So I made it my mission. And 8 years later, here we still are, still sharing, still loving, still vibing, still thriving. And to all of the naysayers and the skeptics, go for it. Go for it. Let that skepticism take you down a path that you've never known. Let it open your eyes to possibility. But all you have to do is be open. You don't have to believe in any of it. As long as you're open and willing, the blessings will come and there will be more than enough space for expansion. And that's my story. So thank you so very much for listening to my story about how I discovered how the angels were real. And if you guys want more of my supernatural story times and you feel like I should do this more often, please let me know and I'll start to schedule something in here. So thank you everybody for that. And before we get into the next thing, how you guys could get a hold of me if you want to work with me as a mentor or as someone who, as a healer, or if you want to shift, you can get a hold of me through my social media platforms, The Oracle of Apollo. If you look this up on Facebook, all of my services are there, but it's one word, The Oracle of Apollo, because Facebook already had another Oracle of Apollo. My Instagram is The Oracle of Apollo. And you can email me at divineencounters@e360tv.com. And I am right now building my website, oracleofapollo.com. And again, if you want to take classes with me or workshops, it doesn't matter where you live, please let me know. And I will definitely want to assist you with that because this is my passion. This is my life. This is my love. And people think that I talk about work and really no, it's all in one. And when you do what you're so passionate about every day, you don't work a day in your life. So even through the excruciating pain of my chronic condition, the unwavering exhaustion, the fact that I was in service always made it worthwhile. So thank you for hearing my story. All right. So, yay! Let's get my winner of the evening so we can all get into the Apollo games next. Hey, girl, you are back.
I am.
Are you ready to test your intuition today?
Yes, please. I need to get back in that.
Yes. And thank you for everybody at home. Okay. So let's go ahead now, and everybody at home, so you know, the Apollo Games is designed to teach you how to tap into your intuition. As adults, we get more rigid because we're task-oriented and we step away from the curiosity and the innocence of a child. So working with this in a playful manner allows us to tap into that energy, but also it lets us explore our intuition in a manner when we are met with multiple choices, how to see through that energetically and choose what's the greatest and highest good for us. All right, so let's get into the Apollo games. Call the husband, call the children, and call the wife. I think by season 3 of Divine Encounters, I'll be taking off that Apollo mask because we won't be having the COVID mask anymore, thank goodness. Okay, my friend, you know you're the one in the hot seat. So here is the question.
What am I about to reveal? A circus tent, a painting, a picture frame, a chalkboard. Put your comment in the comment section below now. If you got it right, notice why you got it right. And if you got it wrong, notice why you got it wrong.
Okay, my friends, you heard the lady. You have 4 options. It's a circus tent, a chalkboard, a painting, and I'm missing one because I can't see that far. A painting, a chalkboard, and a picture frame. So put your answer in the comment section below now. Okay. No pressure, no pressure. What do you think it is, my beautiful friend?
A painting.
You think it's a painting. Final answer?
Final answer.
Final answer. Okay. The collective says, Donna's agreeing with you. She says a painting. Sherry McQueen. I don't know why I always got to say your name like that. Sherry McQueen. She got circus tent. Sherry, you should have your angel book already if it hasn't arrived for our class this weekend. Jidal, hi Jidal. He says picture frame. Cindy says chalkboard. And La Dama says tent. Ooh, okay. Let's see what the answer is, shall we? Oh, wait a minute. Prizes. If you win, if you got this right, you're going to get from me, the Oracle of Apollo, a social distancing high five.
What am I about to reveal? A circus tent. A painting. A picture frame. A chalkboard. Put your comment in the comment section below now. If you got it right, notice why you got it right. And if you got it wrong, notice why you got it wrong. Okay, reveal time. Did you say chalkboard?
Oh, it's okay. But you guys are right. And if you got it right on the replay, high five, high five. Don't worry, there's no losers here in Divine Encounters. This is just practice. So come back Sunday night and we'll continue to shift that energy. But good job, Diana. Don't worry, you tried. Why do you think you got it wrong today?
Because, well, I just went with something that I want to do, which is paint.
Ah, okay. So maybe that was just a message for you today then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to pop you back in the green room because I'm going to do the midweek collective energy check-in. You're going to come back, give us your 2 cents on that. And then it's going to be all about you, girl.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, ladies and gents, this is the midweek collective energy check-in. I'm going to give a reading for all of you guys at home. So make sure you're liking and subscribing if you want to be in Diana's spot next week and receive your own personal angel message, all by just sharing this feed one time or commenting a friend's name in the comment section below. So midweek collective energy check-in, here we are.
There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me.
Okay, so here is the midweek collective energy check-in. I'm wondering how this is going to work out because typically it's in alignment with the story that the person says. So let's see here. We have perspective, nature, and the number 5. This ring light sometimes really bothers me, so hold on. Okay, the number 5 here is the number of change. Interestingly enough, we have 5 hearts on the screen, so that's in alignment with this energy. This card is all about nature and perspective. So there's so many things that are natural that we think are not natural, or we call them paranormal or supernatural. But in the reality is, angels, guides, and deities have existed way before our corporeal body existed in this incarnation. These things are natural to us. Having intuition is natural to us because I don't know, however old the earth is, who knows? I don't know. But let's just go with thousands of years ago when you were in the woods and you didn't have a GPS, okay? You had an inner knowing. When you needed to figure out for some guidance on how to move forward, there was this inner knowing. Your intuition was right at the forecenter of your entire life, okay? And there was plenty of different types of people, such as healers or people who could read signs in the sky or in the earth. And that is because they were so tapped into nature. We were all one. It's only now in the more modern era that we've kind of come into this state of separation where natural is synthetic. We even eat synthetic foods that are not natural. And then we deem things like psychic abilities as supernatural or unnatural when it's just as natural as breathing. And it's not something that's evil or bad. It's something that is, just like burping. It's something that is. Okay. So this is the number of change. So I want you guys, I feel like this is in alignment with my story, is I feel like my shift came, my change came, my healing came because I just changed my perspective. I became more open and more allowing. Wow. Be of service. That's what came from my perspective change. Be of service. And we're service in so many ways. We can be of service by working at a hair salon. We can be of service by being a teacher or being the very nice cashier at Wawa, who is the only nice cashier at Wawa, okay? Being of service just means that whatever you're doing, you're gifting your energy to the world in some manner with kindness and authenticity. That's how we are of service. And that doesn't just look like a healer. That doesn't just look like someone in the military who's a hero. We can all be of service in our own way as long as it comes from our heart space. Gifting art to the world is being of service. So if you have an open perspective or a change of a perspective, it's going to allow you to see where you at home can be of service in your own world. Angel, I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry. Wow. So if you watch this show, these messages are always in alignment with the person of the night. Can you guys see that? Look at the angel that's there. I'm shaking. Angel Chamuel. When have you heard that name? When have you heard about that angel? This is not Angel Michael or Gabriel. This is Chamuel. This is the angel that first started my whole journey. And the message is life experience. Things fall, I'm about to cry. Things fall away. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change, time to spread your wings. Sometimes we think that those bad things that happen to us are bad, when really these life experiences what's designing us, which training us to be stronger than we've ever thought we ever could be. The animal, monkey, ingenuity, adaptability, innovation, and this situation calls for it. When you're trying to get through something, you have to be outside the box. You have to go through your discomfort. You have to try new things. You have to go into scary churches that freak you the hell out, okay? Like, you have to go through it to gain the prize. And a message from heaven for the collective. If you have someone in heaven who has crossed over that was in the physical plane, here's the message from them. I was met by so many loving people. And I feel like this is your ancestors just saying, when I transitioned, I was met with love and assistance and support and help. And when you transition, I will meet you there and give you that love and support on your journey. And we have for Angel blessings today, Angel Sarah blessing the collective with ease, and Angel Raphael blessing the collective with knowledge. It doesn't always have to be hard. We just have to know how much force to use or which way to turn the key. So that is the midweek collective energy check-in for today. May that serve you. And I hope you tune in Sunday night when I do your full horoscopes. Let's bring Diana on. Diana, how you feel about this today?
Well, that 5 card, the change was, I needed to hear that because I am going through some change. I'm actually watching somebody else go through some change. He actually left to go and live in nature.
Wow.
And I'm that's
it's in alignment. It's in alignment.
It is. Yes.
All right. So I hear that. Okay, so let's see what we have for you today, my friend. And it's funny because that first card was literally the nature card. Mm-hmm. And he left to go into nature. Let's see what we got for you. You, my friend, let's get this third camera up, are in a phase of learning. You have the number 4 here, and the word is lessons. So we also see the word children here. Let me move that little one, and lessons. So it's asking you, and it's interesting because we started off with that mother card today, right? Being the child of ourselves. And you say that how to be a better mother, but how can you be a better child? You know, how can you be receptive to that energy as well? Maybe for your own mother or for celestial mother, but it's saying be like a child. See your world through the eyes of innocence, curiosity, letting go of the rigidity. Why do I feel like I've told you this before?
You know, that's my birthday, 4/4.
Oh, wow. And those are very strong foundational numbers, and they deal with home, hearth, and health. So all tactile things. And I feel like a new foundation is being built from this energy. Let's see what we have for your next card here. we have feel joy in all you do. And I love this for you because, like, that rigidity statement is you're not here to just get and make a check mark to do the next task. You're here to live the in between moments with joy and be present and have that childlike energy. When we look at a very young kid, they could be spinning and just be like, woo, just screaming and having a ball all by themselves because they are in that state of joy. It's when we are sitting so closely or so closely in that state of separation where we start to pay so much attention to the tactile that we forget that we're energetic beings made and created and from joy. Okay. So I really feel like there's a big message for you to kind of like shake it off, shake it off and go in an adventure and allow yourself to be more supple is the word I want to use here.
Yeah, I'm very strict at home with my children, and I thank God for my children for being there to make me slow down and let me have fun. And that's feel joy in all you do. Yes.
I love that for you. And this card's a 2 of air. It's saying unwilling to make a decision or a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. So sometimes we can just get so bogged down with the mundane in our day-to-day task, we don't realize that we're out of balance, or we don't believe that it's an issue at all. It's just like, no, it's okay. I have like 100 more things to do. I just got to just take another Red Bull, another coffee, and just get through it. I'll have fun next year. I will sleep when I die. So it's kind of like we're bringing this to your attention because there's something here that needs to be rectified and shifted. And of course, that's kind of surmising back to the joy thing. So let's see what animal you have. If you have dolphin, I'm going to scream. Something just flipped. Oh, close. Water animal, turtle. Retreat. Stop trying to make something happen. What's for you is always destined for you. So that's why it's important to slow down, not burn the candle at both ends. Because honestly, when you do that, what good are you? How are you helpful when you're irritable, when you're low in energy, when you're cranky? Because that's what happens when we burn on both ends. We just become like this ugly version of ourselves. So it's saying take a step back, slow down. Sometimes we also get injuries from the hips downward to slow down. It can be as simple as stubbing your toe, or for me, a few weeks ago, I literally cut my whole heel off, and there was pictures and everything. It was very, very nasty. And I was like, wow, spirit, you guys got to cut my heel off just to slow me down. That's how extreme it was. So sometimes it's like, hey, we're going to knock on your door gently, but you need a retreat. Take a step back, either a physical retreat or go into a park and have a day retreat, or just an hour retreat into yourself. So this is, I feel like, slow down for you, friend, with the turtle energy.
Yesterday, I thought to myself, I needed to make a decision on something. I thought just letting the universe take care of it would have been good, but I had this sudden urge that I needed to make a decision. And that's what I've been contemplating. And you pull up these last 2 cards that just hit on that. Like, I don't need to feel like I need to make a decision. So that's great.
Yes, I get it. And that 2 of air was all about, all right, we got to make a choice. There's a stalemate. So I have a message from heaven for your loved ones in heaven. And they want you to know, if you have anyone in heaven, that they are so much better now. The rainbow bridge is here. Sometimes I see the rainbow bridge as the bridge for your pets, because the rainbow bridge is literally where your pets wait for you when you cross over. But your message from heaven is, I'm so much better now. Let's see if you have like a direct message. We have 2 minutes left, so I can probably pull something out. You know what's weird? I'm seeing like the grandma from Coco. Like, have you seen Coco?
No.
Okay, I'm going to give you homework. You're going to go watch Coco. Okay.
With my 4-year-old daughter, she'll like that.
Yes, she will like that. But I feel like there is an ancestor here with you and just letting you know that not only are they so much better, but this message really is, you will be so much better. You are being supported by us, and we're going to help you make it better. That's what I feel like this message is for you. And then let's see what your angel blessing is. And these are not tarot cards, but they're blessing. Angel Daniel blesses you with kindness. I don't feel anything else could have closed this much more better than this card, because you're in that joy, that childlike energy. Study your kids this week and be more like them. And then we have courage. Courage to let the gloves down, to be more vulnerable, to be more spontaneous, to be more silly, and not make stories around what that means. Like, it takes away from your womanhood to be silly, but it really doesn't. It enhances you. All right. It builds charisma, and it builds attractiveness when we're smiling and we're happy and we're in a hopeful place. So I hope this serves you today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
You are so very welcome, and it's an honor to have you. Thank you for being here. I love you, and I will see you next time. And for everybody at home, thank you so very much. It is an honor to do this show. I actually have someone next week coming, and it's a priest, and he's going to tell us about his story, and I think that's going to be pretty cool, because I haven't had a priest on here. Well, not a religious priest. I've had priests, but different kinds. So remember, your life is your choice. Choose to open, choose to explore, choose wonderment, choose allowing. The moment that we think we know everything, we lose. All right. So recognize that in all of your lives. I really honor you all. I love making this show for you guys. If you know anyone who's had a divine encounter, please send them my way. And with that being said, may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember, the divine always, always, always has your back. Ciao.
Divine encounters alive. Divine encounters, our lives designed. I am the oracle Apollo.